Hi guys, happy Frequently Asked Questions Friday. What's up, Instagram? Hey, Facebook. So this is FAQ Friday where members get to submit questions that I answer for you. This is the last one for a little bit because I'm getting ready to do a little traveling, a little vacation. Very exciting. But let's get started for this week's FAQs. So the first question is really great, and it was asking how many, so on the meal plans, when we say like one bunch of kale, like how many cups it is, and I get it, every kale bunch is a little bit bigger, a little smaller, but they're generally around the same size. And so with like a family plan, I would say expect to get 4 to 6 cups out of a bunch, like out of a bushel, and like for the individual plan, it would be usually half that. If you're buying those bags of kale, like I know Trader Joe's has them, but I've also seen the bags of kale at other stores, that's a lot. And so when I do a family recipe, I usually do about half the bag. I kind of just suss it out. I look at it and I see how much kale is there, and then I'll add more if I want to, or I'll just save the rest to steam later. But it's one of those things, it's a kale. So a little more or less usually isn't going to make or break the recipe, and you can add as much greens as you like. I know a lot of people really like to add a lot of greens, and so that's a good way to do it. But it's just definitely something that I'm like, how much greens do I want in this? Do I want it really green heavy? And just sort of adapt it that way. And then to remember, it cooks down. And so spinach especially, like spinach I have like this much and then it cooks down to this much. But kale, it doesn't condense as much, but it does condense. And also, it's also how much you cook it, because kale, if you really cook it, it really will get kind of mushy and soft. But if you leave it a little bit bright green, it's still kind of fluffy and yummy. Next question. Short grain or long grain brown rice, does it matter? It's really a matter of personal preference. The short grain is going to cook a little bit faster because it's smaller grain, and so the bigger grain is going to be a little bit longer. Some people say that the long grain fills them up more for longer, and I could see that because it is a bigger grain, so it would take longer to break down. But I think ultimately it comes down to a personal preference, or even maybe what your store sells. I know some stores sell bulk bin of one and not the other, so I make it work. Just choose whatever brown rice you have. I'm lazy. I don't even cook brown rice anymore. I buy the frozen brown rice and microwave it. So no judgment here. Just buy the brown rice that you like or you want. Let's see what else. Oh, this question comes up a lot. Actually, not the Shortcut to Slim podcast, but my old podcast, the Co-Pilot series, where it's me and someone else talking. I had an episode with Dr. Greger, and this is a really great episode to listen to. So people often ask, like, my cholesterol goes high or my triglycerides are high, and I've been plant-based for a while, and I don't understand, like, why? And it could be genetic, but it also could be, there's a lot of data that shows that when your body's kind of healing, the cholesterol has to go somewhere. Like if your arteries are unclogging, like it's got to go somewhere. And so it's very often when people change their diets or they lose a lot of weight that their cholesterol or even their triglycerides, it spikes temporarily, and after a few weeks it will come back down. But it's part of just like it's part of the house cleaning. It's sort of like after you have, you dirty up your floors and you mop them, you have that big bucket of black water for a little bit until you like dump it down the drain. So that's sort of what's going on. Dr. Greger explains it super well, so I would definitely check that out. If you are a member of Meal Mentor, there's a few forum threads with like a lot of science and readings and stuff that you can check out. Just like go into the forums and search high cholesterol. That's why I love the forums. It's such a treasure trove of info. So check that out. But also too, it can still be diet. I've worked with clients directly that even a little bit of wine or a little bit of fruit juice, I'm not saying every day, but even just like once or twice a week, it really would raise their cholesterol and their triglycerides. But as soon as they stopped drinking wine really seemed to be the problem. As soon as they stopped having wine at all, it like really helped it out. Or they stopped juicing, or they stopped having juice or orange juice or fresh juice at home, whatever. So that's a big thing. And definitely too, I've seen with a lot of my clients not having broken grains, like not eating the white pasta or the white bread, trying to either eat the whole wheat versions or not even do that, doing the slimming option on the meal plans where it's using like a potato or rice or some whole grain instead of the broken down tortilla or something, because that is still a little processed. So those are some things that have really, really helped. But again, check out the forums thread. Lots of tips, lots of helps, lots of members have chimed in with their experience and how they fixed it, so something to do there. I think that's actually it for a lot of the questions. Some people asked if I would ever do like a cookbook based on the meal plans, and I won't. I'm retired from cookbooking. It's just never going to happen, guys. Sorry. But definitely check out the meal plans. And if you are a member of the meal plans, we actually have a whole bunch of exclusive cookbooks you can't get anywhere else. So if you want to get a cookbook fix, the meal plans are definitely your ticket. Let's see what else came up. Oh, this is a really great question too. how do you gain momentum? And this is such a hard thing to answer because it's like, well, you have to find it. You have to figure it out yourself, but no one wants to hear that. So for me, with my personal experience with momentum, is I find like it's truly about getting the ball rolling. And so I ask myself, what can I do right now? Like, what is a step I can take right now? I can't do it all. I can't fix all my problems. It can't be perfect, 110% today, but there is something I can do. And so sometimes that means like, okay, I don't order the chocolate cake or dessert, or sometimes that means I eat the apple, or sometimes it means I actually just get out of bed. Or take a shower, or any number of things. So I just focus on what is the next best thing that I can do that's helpful to me, that's beneficial to me, that's good for me, that gets me towards the path I want to go. Like, I completely accept that I'm not going to be do it all, but like, just for this moment right now, what is the thing that I can do that's going to help me in some way? Like, what's the most helpful action I can take right now for myself? And I do that thing. And what I find is when I do that thing, that actually starts the momentum. Even if it's the smallest thing ever, like get out of bed or put on one shoe, or think about taking a shower, because sometimes the first step isn't even eating a plant-based diet. It's thinking about maybe someday eating a plant-based diet. Like, you really have to break it down. But as soon as I do that thing, that first little thing, even if it is, like I said, getting out of bed, I find that then gives me that little bit of momentum. And then I do like the next thing or the next thing and the next thing. When I was a personal trainer, I always told my clients, put their gym clothes out the night before. And I found that they always came. Like, there was only one woman once who didn't do it. And I was like, if you put your clothes out the night before, you're like, okay. And then the next morning you have to put the clothes on. You can go back to bed, but you have to put the clothes on. And then decide. And of course, once you put them out, once you put them on, you're more likely to keep going. And it's building that momentum. But when my clients didn't do those things, when they didn't put them out before, they didn't put them on, it was so much easier to hit the snooze. And so it really works to have these like tiny little baby momentum things. And it's, I love that quote, like a journey of whatever, 1,000 million miles or whatever starts with a single step. It's so true. So just think of it that way. And like I said, the first thing could just be thinking about it. The first step could just be writing like, I'm going to be healthy today. Or if you've been listening to this season of Shortcut to Slim, it's changing your mindset to, I am healthy already. Like, I'm already healthy. I'm healthy. I'm a healthy person. I live a healthy lifestyle. Like, right now, boom, it's done. Actually, you guys should all say that right now. I am healthy already. That really does work. And there's a lot of things like people say, oh, motivational quotes or this and that. It helps, but it really comes down to action. And one thing, I'm researching this right now, it's going to be the end of season 2, is how often, and I'm guilty of this, is that we spend so much time like learning and we feel like we're doing something because we've learned something, or we are actually doing something like we're reading, but we're not taking action. And a lot of people, and again, I'm included in this group, I'm finding, especially in talking with members and clients, and again, myself, is that we put off doing the thing by thinking more about it or learning more about it, and that makes us feel like we're making progress, but we're not really. We should really be using that time to like go do the thing. And when I speak at business conferences, I hear this all the time. I hear people who are spinning obsessively trying to figure out the perfect font or the perfect website or the perfect color for their business card. They're like researching nonstop about what color is best for this or that. And it's like, if you want a business, like, you need to just go get clients and start that business. Like, yeah, it's nice to have like the most perfect card or the perfect website, but what you need is clients. And I was talking to this woman at a business conference once, and she like really wanted to be a party planner, and she was like going on and on and on about like her branding and this. And I'm like, you just need to like call up your friends and be like, who's having a party? Who wants to let me plan in exchange for being a testimonial and telling me to your other friends? And she's like, oh, I never thought of it that way. I'm like, I get it. I'm like in my head like that too. So anyway, so what's the first thing I can do? What's the next action that's helpful to me? And one thing I really love, and this is from Shortcut to Slim season 2 as well, is I ask myself, is this hurtful or is this helpful before I take any action? And I use this at work. I use this with my food. I use this with trying to achieve my goals. Like, I've been trying to save money, and so every time before I like go buy something or I do something or I agree to something, I'm like, is this helpful or hurtful to my saving money goal? It really, really does make a difference. And so I definitely hope you guys can take some of those things away or impart them, or I don't know what the right word is for that. I think that's it. I think I went through all of the questions. This is, like I said, the last one for a little bit. So if anyone has a live question that wants to ask, shoot it. Otherwise, I'm going to get going. Let me just check Facebook really quick. Oh, hi. Oh, I see. Oh, it's always so hard to read What is the name? I have to use my hair to like go over the white font. What is the name of the microwave pocket you use and where do you get it? So I bought mine on Amazon, but I've since read that some of the Amazon ones are fake, so it might not be the best place. I also got them at Bed Bath & Beyond, which is great because at Bed Bath & Beyond you can use those 20% coupons that always seem to be in the mail. I think it's technically, so here's one of mine. I think this one's the legit one. I think this is my legit one. It's called a Potato Express. And like I said, I got one that's not a legit one, and I got a legit one. I think this is the legit one. It really needs a bath, guys. It's so gross. That's the nice thing about these is you turn them inside out and you put them in the bed, and then they come out looking new. But anyway, yeah, Potato Express. It should be like $7. I don't get paid. I just love the potato pocket. So that's the one to get. I'm actually taking, I own like 4. I have one that's in my suitcase that I always travel with, and I'm actually taking my second one with me. I'm like that, like I love them that much, and I can't imagine not having them. So I guess that's the best endorsement I can give. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me during FAQ Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. Scott will be actually cooking this weekend. He'll be doing a live video again. I hope you guys enjoyed his pizza video. He's been seeing your posts on Instagram of your pizzas saying you were inspired by him, and he just like loves it. So thank you so much. But he's actually going to be around this weekend making the green goddess bowls, which are on the current meal plan live. And yes, a man's going to be making a goddess bowl because we should all feel, I don't know, heavenly and like we're on Mount Olympus. So with that, you guys will see him this weekend. I'll be back next week cooking for you again. I am off to go have fun with a yoga retreat. And do you guys want to see Mateus? You want to see him? Because he's right here by my feet again. Mateus, come say hi to everybody. We just got him a new harness, so he is very equipped with a brand new harness. He's still the sweetest boy ever. He said he's made up with Lily Bean and Quaid, you know, and he still needs a home, and he's the sweetest, nicest, goodest boy. He's such a good boy. See, I need a home. Somebody give me a home. I need a family that's permanent. But we love having him in the meantime, right, guy? He's a little tired today. Yeah, he's such a sweetie. Such a sweet boy. Look at you, sweet boy. Look at him. Yeah. I'm so sweet. And I'm much cuter in person. I'm not very photogenic. Okay. Thanks, guys. Love you all. Have a beautiful weekend.